Hello there, Zakynthos here. This is Imperiums Greek Wars. So this is a real-time strategy game, turn-based, I think. Yeah, probably similar to Imperator Rome and whatever else there's turn-based. Yeah, so let's get into it. We'll start with we'll do the tutorial. Lasting trade partnerships contribute to economic prosperity and good bilateral relations. Trade relations can help to build political trust. Hello to everyone, by the way. So we'll wait for this to load up. Okay, graphics settings, auto detection. The graphics settings were adjusted according to the performance of the detected GPU. So I have an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6GB PCI SSE2. Video card has been selected by operating system to run with game. If there is a better video card or you want to select another card manually, please open the vendor's control application and video control panel for that, and select the video card to run with game. The video card has considerable impact on the game's graphics performance. If you find the settings too demanding for your machine, or you feel that higher settings might run smoothly on your computer, you can change the settings manually in the graphics setting. Current graphics settings are set to maximum. If this is too demanding for your machine, you can adjust the quality of terrains, textures, shadows, and trees in the graphics settings. So the video card is, the game has detected the video card. So this is one of the few strategy titles that relies on the video card. Paradox games and Civ 6 were more on the CPU, so yeah, so the game has set our video card to maximum. Close there.
Sparta and Athens have a venerable presence that has shaped our history, and neither will easily yield their place. Though Sparta lost its dominance a few decades ago after an earthquake, leading to Messenia breaking away, and defeat under Theban spears, underestimating their will for reascendance would be a mistake. Military tradition is in their blood. They will not settle for second place at the Olympiad, nor diplomatic table, much less the battlefield. Athenian presence now stretches from Attica to far-flung colonies along our sea. They also control the Delian League. However, many allies resent Athenian hubris and treatment of them as slave nations. Outright rebellion may be nigh as other states seek to undermine them. Yet, while Sparta and Athens influenced our culture for centuries, another rival enters the amphitheater for the final act. Young Philip has taken the throne in Macedonia, his brother the king having recently fallen against barbarians. Though his fledgling kingdom struggles, Philip is fearless and ambitious. Oracles have prophesied that Hellenes will learn how one man can change the history of so many.
Okay, I'll just lower the volume a little. Sure. What am I doing? Welcome. We venerable people of Macedonia trust our future into your hands. This is what we can tell about the current political situation. May the gods guide your steps. Yeah, okay. Scenario begins. Ancient Greece, in a time long before it became known as Greece, was not yet even thought of as a cohesive nation, still a fragmented agglomeration of city-states spread across much more than just Hellas. Each continued its struggles against its neighbours, changing sides and quarrelling even after the 27-year-long so-called Peloponnesian War, and long after the Hellenes united once to drive off the Persians. In the east, the Achaemenid inheritors of the Persian Empire strove to keep thumbs upon its independence-minded collection of satrapies. To the north, in the foothills of the Balkans, barbarian tribes of Lyria and Thrace vied with the Hellenic states for supremacy. Sparta, Athens, and Boeotia continued their rivalry, and now a new power is about to rise in the midst of all the conflict: Macedon. Macedonia introduction. Macedonia is a large kingdom at the periphery of the region, dominated by the Hellenic city-states, yet occupying a strategic position around the Gulf of Therma, with access to the sea and rich gold mines plus room to expand. While it has shed the Persian yoke, its position among the Hellenic powers is insecure, seen as semi-barbaric. It is not strong enough economically or militarily to vie for hegemony, and on the political field it plays only a secondary role. Despite this, it maintains an aggressive attitude towards its neighbours. Especially strained are relations with Athens, the Odrysian and Dardanian kingdoms, and Angeli tribes to the north and east. Indeed, these conflicts have just cost Macedonia her king. A new monarch, Philip II, has taken the throne, and while his plans are ambitious, Macedonia first needs to build an infrastructure and an army before it can join the fight for supremacy. Our military tradition allows you to draw upon experienced troops. Some newly recruited basic units can already have attack and defense improvements. Such a military advantage should not go to waste. The future of the nation is now in your hands. Honour the vision of our ancestors and continue their great deeds. Your predecessor has already laid out some plans called objectives that can be found under this icon in the state menu or in the state window. Follow in their steps and fulfill your destiny. So they're the player objectives, okay. Tutorial guide. Welcome to the tutorial of Imperiums Greek Wars. This tutorial will take you through the main features and controls of the game. We recommend you take the time to read the text thoroughly and not just blindly follow the instructions. It will take you 50 to 60 minutes to complete, but you can save the game and come back to it later if you need a break. After the tutorial, you can continue this game and follow your own path. Tutorial guide. The tutorial panel will be displayed at the left side of the screen throughout the whole tutorial, which is over here. This button will help you to recall the current assignment, get advice, and complete the task. So this button here will help you to recall the current assignment, get advice, and complete the task. This button here will help you find the unit that should perform the current action or find the correct location where the action should be executed. This button will close the tutorial and all the hints about how to play the game. Once there is a new assignment, the buttons that will help you complete it start flashing to make it easy to find them. This icon in the tutorial dialog box marks the current assignment. Your first task is simple. Click on the help button. Alright, so we hit that one. Recall last tutorial and task with suggestion. Great. Now you know where to find help. Use it whenever you're not sure how to continue. The next task is also select one of your map items on the map by simply clicking on it. Now you know how to select the map item. Once selected, the map is highlighted and detailed information about it is displayed in the unit menu in the lower right corner of the screen. If you want to deselect a map item, use a left click. The unit menu shows important information about the selected map item, its properties or damage. The square icons at the left edge of the menu represent special attributes and skills this map item has, and the buttons at the bottom part of the screen show available actions. To navigate more easily and switch between your active units, you can use this button in the upper part of the unit menu, which automatically switches from the current selected unit to the next one. Now click on that button to switch the view to another active unit. Switch to next unit. Well done. Let's try to move some of your units. The unit can be moved. The unit that can be moved is highlighted, and the orange arrow suggests a new location for it. If you don't see the orange arrow on the map, you might need to zoom out a bit to see a larger portion of the map, or click this button in the tutorial panel. This button orders the unit to move to this new location. The game also offers so-called default actions that make the selection of commands and moves faster. When a map item is selected, and you hover the cursor over it, different default actions will be offered at the tip of the cursor depending on when the map item is selected. When a map item is selected and you hover the cursor over, different default actions will be offered at the tip of the cursor depending on the selected map item and time. Most of the time, move unit is selected by default. You can change the default action by holding Control key. Send some of your units to new positions. So what's happening? So a selected unit is this one. So, move unit. Okay, the left click as well, I guess. Right click to the, yep. Tutorial guide. Okay, so now you can move units around the map. Let's try again, but this time we take a free tile that doesn't belong to any state. You can claim any tile by simply stepping on it with any of your military units. However, should a defending unit be positioned on such a tile, you'll have to render this unit harmless, and only then will you be able to take the tile. You should also pay attention to the different terrains on the map as they affect the attack and defense ability of your units, their mobility and view range. Hills, for example, are good vantage points as they allow you to see a greater area. Claim the lands in the north for Macedonia. I just read the top right. Military map items are foot and cavalry units as well as static buildings with a military purpose. They have a number of unique properties determined by their type. Some properties are constant, such as capacity, whereas others, such as attack strength and correction points, can change during the game. All information about the unit or its type can be found in the info windows when you right and left click on the unit model in the main menu. Map highlight is explained in Imperium Library F1. Anyway, so what we'll do, we'll move him to there, and again to there. Keep expanding the borders of your lands. You will need a proper road network if you plan to build an empire worthy of that name though. Roads play an important role in a country's development. Roads play an important role in the country's development. Connecting cities, other buildings and resources with roads improves the mobility of units and the production of resources. Roads and bridges can only be built by settlers. Give your settler an order to build a road by clicking on the Build Road action button. Build a new road. So here, if you look at the top right, no, I didn't do it there. Yeah. Non-military units have no attack strength, although they can defend themselves. They are designed to build cities, roads, bridges, and cultivated fields. Map highlights is explained in Imperiums Library F1. So let's click there, move the settler to here. And so then we build a road. Build dirt road in one turn. And it uses two resources, I can't tell what they are. Maybe one is wood, the other's concrete, so... There you go, starts building. Now let's continue in the development of the empire and start utilising and cultivating the land. All cities and most units need food to maintain their functions. Without food, your armies will rebel, cities will revolt, and people will leave to search for better livelihoods elsewhere. To increase food production, settlers should be ordered to build fields and farms around the cities to increase food yields. Keep in mind that only plains and grasslands are suitable for agriculture. Order a settler to build a field close to Therma by clicking on the Build Field action button. Alright, so we move this. He's a settler or not? He's a settler, we'll move him to here. And, let's build a road. Create a field on this tile, and if a field is already there, build a farm. So build a field, one turn. It uses this resource here, which is gold, okay. So he starts building the field. Okay. Perfect. Settlers can now be put to good use cultivating wild lands. The first turn is almost over, but let's spend a bit more time on the game menu in the upper right corner of the screen, which is up here. This button opens the main menu, which is, I don't know which one. This one displays the game help called Imperiums Library, where you can find detailed information about rules, game mechanics and features. The other buttons function as normal music player controls. Now it is time for the other players to make their moves. The big round button in the upper right corner of the screen ends the turn, which is probably this one. End the turn and take your time to watch the actions of the other players. Okay, so before we do the end turn, if you hover over with the mouse, you can see the different terrains. So here, Macedonia, Crestonia Plains, local happiness 58%, title supplied at 100%. Yeah, so let's end the turn. Yeah, so these are the other civilizations. There's a few as well, eh? We have received some very unsettling news. This is not a good start. The Dardanian tribes are marching towards our northern border, and Athenian units have been sighted moving along the Aliakomonas River towards our city of Aegea. We have to adapt our tutorial to address this dangerous situation. We shall teach both the barbarians as well as the arrogant Athenians a lesson. Let's start in the south. Luckily, there is a unit stationed at Aegea that could be fortified within the city, which would greatly increase the city defences. Use this button to order a unit to enter the city. Okay, so we have that one here. Load the unit. So down here we'll load unit. Where do we load the unit? In there? Left click. Okay, right click. Do you want to enter Aegea? Yeah, we do. So it's similar to Civ 6 and Civ 5. Now, what to do about the Dardanian hordes moving towards our border? Their city of Lynkestis is the capital and the base from which they sent their warriors to harass and raid our lands. Move a unit closer to the city of Lynkestis. So we'll grab him. Left click there. Right click there. The Dardanian patrols are scouting around the city keeping guard. Our warriors are well suited for movement and warfare in forests and woodlands. Let's use this advantage. As mentioned elsewhere, different army and unit types are suited to different terrains, which affects their fighting ability and mobility. You can always find quick information about terrain affinity in the tooltip and in the map items tab in the Imperiums library. Send the advancing unit to take cover in the forest. So we'll go in there. This must be the city here. We sneaked close to the city, and now is not the time for hesitation. We must not let the enemy seize momentum. Every assault lowers the defensibility of the defender. Use this to your advantage and plan your attacks in waves, targeting the same unit with several of your own. Don't let them catch their breath. Use this button to launch an attack on an enemy map item. Move your unit and attack the enemy guards. Move the unit there, or there, or there. It's a little bit tricky, isn't it? This. Okay. With that one, move it into there. And okay, so this is a warrior cavalry Cleombrotus army. So we'll right click there. Yeah. Battle with the Dardanian kingdom close to Lycensis. So the Macedonia Cleombrotus army is ours. The Dardanian kingdom Crimea's army is theirs. It was a draw in the end. We had minus 30% terrain affinity, plus 6% army morale. They had plus 9% army morale. They had plus 8% readiness bonus. We had 500 soldiers. They had 1,000 soldiers. We had 139 casualties, but we got plus 2 at 100 unit experience. They had 242 casualties. Yeah, so it was a draw. Alright. Our cavalry unit didn't win any major victory for us. We lost the element of surprise. You can see the details of the battle in the battle result window that pops up after the fight. Here you can see what factors determine the outcome of the battle. Our cavalry unit lost quite a lot of men in this brawl, and it needs fresh men to replenish its ranks. The closest facility to do this is in Edessa. Move the unit to Edessa and then click the heal inside button to bring the unit back to full strength. There are several ways to heal a unit, and heal inside is the fastest. You have to bring the unit back to a city or facility where the particular unit type can be built, trained and healed. Move the cavalry unit to Edessa and let the men heal their wounds. Okay, that's that one there. Yeah, so if you hover over this as well, Macedonia, Almighty Scrub, local happiness 90%, terrain defense bonus 20%. Yeah, okay. Heal inside, 2 turns. It will take a few turns before the unit is ready for action again. Let's turn our attention back to the battlefield. The enemy unit took some damage in the fight as well, and this could be our chance. Send a fresh unit against the enemy. So we'll go here. So they're saying grab this one. Alright. Which one? That one? Oh, I see. Move him there. Okay. Attack unit, yeah. So right click on him, the enemy. Triumph, yeah. Brilliant, our first victory. Fortune favours the bold. There is nothing more we can do about the situation on our borders this turn, but there is still work to be done. If Macedonia is to become great, we need to invest in urban infrastructure. We can build a new city at the Axios River. River tolls not only produce more resources, but there also happens to be the foundations of an abandoned town, which will make the construction much cheaper. Use the build town action button to order a unit to found a new settlement. Build a new city. Yeah, we'll build a town. Broke tie. We'll call it Adelaide. Tutorial guide. Now you are now a founder of the city. You are now a founder of cities. This is part of your legacy for future generations. The plains next to the new city should be ploughed and fields created. The plains next to the new city should be ploughed and fields created. River and sea tiles are very fertile, so it pays off to build new cities on riverbanks and along the coast. Build a field on the river tile. So we have to move there. What do I do now? Build a field. Okay. By building a new city, the nomad unit was spent and cannot be used anymore, but you still need a workforce for other tasks. Most new units are recruited and trained in cities and some other buildings like stables or shipyards, depending on the specialization of these facilities. New settlers can be built in Therma. See the specialization under the city name in the unit menu. Select a city and then use the build action button to recruit a new unit. So recruit a settler. So that one's clicked. Build there. List of available map items. Select highlighted unit type. Scroll down through the list and displays the map item type window in the Imperium. So we want settler, which is this one. Settler is a non-military unit that can build cities, roads and bridges, cultivate agricultural lands and modify terrain features. Great work, the new settler will be ready in a few turns. The road close to the capital city has been finished and the settler is waiting for new orders. You can build a longer route instead of going through the tiles one by one, which is much easier. Click on the build road action button, then select the tile where the road should lead to. The settler will then work independently until the road is finished. A road needs to be built to connect the nearby gold mine with the city. Connecting mines and cities is an important part of economic planning. As roads increase mine production, build a road all the way to the gold mine. So that's the gold mine there. Switch to alternative default action by holding control and execute it with a right click. So we want to build a road. Apart from actions taking place directly on the map, there are several important windows where you can see the economic and political standing of the whole country. Let's take a look at the state window, which can be accessed by clicking the button with your coat of arms in the upper left corner of the screen, which is this one here. The state window contains a number of administrative tools which help you rule and control the country. We will come back to some of them later, but let's explain the birth rate support now. You can control the birth rate in your cities by financing the building of new houses and providing material help. The more you invest in the birth rate grants, the higher population increase you can expect. If Macedonia is to thrive, we need to grow our populace. Increase the birth rate support by moving the slider. So click this button here, which is the state window, F2. So we will move it how much? This generous gesture will surely please the population and our nation will grow. Unfortunately, such support is paid from state coffers and there is never enough gold to support all our plans. Let's try to make a deal with Chalkidike. Perhaps we can barter gold for our surplus food. Long-standing trade deals forge trust between states, which is just another benefit we can gain from this partnership. Close the currently open window by clicking on the X button in the top right corner, then click on the Trade Overview button in the map menu in the lower left corner and set the conditions for this exchange. Click on the resources and set the amounts to 3 on both sides. Propose an exchange of gold for food to Chalkidike. So close that. Let's click this one. Open Trade Overview window to see all your ongoing trades, including a summary of traded goods and a list of potential trading partners. So we'll click on this for the Trade Overview window. For more information about trade and different trade, do refer to the Imperium Library. Display new trade proposal window if we left click. So this is who we're going to trade with, Chalkidike. left click here, sign trade. You offer no, they said for food, eh? Sign the trade up there. No. Cancel. We have food. How much food? Go to there, okay. We want gold. Want a bit of gold. And offer my proposal. The type or types of resources on both sides are set. Only the amounts on the opponent's side are to be negotiated. This option allows you to indicate what resources you need, but you're willing to negotiate their amount. So I'm just reading the information in the top right of the screen. Let's click that. Very good, our merchants are on their way to Chalkidike with our proposal. Let's finish this turn. We should know if Chalkidike accepts the proposal soon enough. End the turn. So close this window. Let's end the turn here. Your rivals are scheming. Yeah. Trade was accepted. You offered food, they wanted gold. We have a lot of food, they obviously have a bit of gold. Trade offer was signed. Trade duration 15 in turns, that's 15 turns. And limit of the trade loss. Once the percentage of trade loss is higher, trade is. Let's click that one. Before we start a new turn, let's quickly summarize where to get information about the current turn and latest events. You might have noticed that the date in the upper right corner has changed. You can find additional info about the current turn, play time and game details in the tooltip. Every new turn starts with a presentation of the latest events displayed at the left edge of the screen. You can click on the reports to move the map to the location where the event took place. So you've got here, and the game is paused because of the tutorial. If you want to recall the panel anytime during the turn, just click on the flag in the map menu, which is that one. Okay. And now we are ready for the next challenge. There is both good and bad news. The good news is that our merchants were able to sign a trade deal with Chalkidike, and the exchange will start very soon. The bad news is that both the Dardanians and Athenians attacked us again, but luckily their units were not able to inflict too much damage. Athens attacked the city of Aegea, but the defenders in the city were able to repel them. We need time to regroup and send some reinforcements to Aegea, but even that might not be enough. We might need to ask for peace, at least temporarily. This can be done in the diplomacy window through which you steer your foreign affairs. Propose peace to Athens. Yeah, so they're the events here that have happened. Let's go to political map, F3, open that one. Athens, so we're at war with Athens. Click on the position of the player on the map. Banner shows general mood in the country. Example from torn banner indicates love, happiness. Open a diplomacy window with this player with the left mouse button. Change view to see foreign relations of this player. We'll left click that one. Athens war. So we're Macedonia and we are at war with Athens. They wanted us to propose peace with them. Sign peace down here. Sign peace treaty. Do you want to propose peace agreement to Athens? Yes. Our envoys are on the way to Athens and we can now turn our attention to the conflict with the Dardanians. We have a good position, a stone's throw away from the Dardanian capital, and we should hold it as long as possible. In such a situation, it's best to order the unit to fortify its position, which significantly increases its defences. The warrior unit damaged in the attack is in a tricky situation, and it would be better to pull it back outside of the enemy's striking distance. Fortify the unit in forest and move the damaged unit back from the battlefront. So we'll close this window. Fortify, so the fortification bonus is plus 40%, terrain defense bonus plus 30% if we get attacked in the latter turns. So down here, fortify F, click that one. Move the unit there. The signed trade deal with Chalkidike helps to maintain good neighbourly relations. However, even better for forging strong and lasting partnerships are bilateral treaties that bind both sides to mutual collaboration. Diplomacy requires delicate negotiations. Don't ask for too much too fast, but good relations are cemented by gestures of goodwill, and time is needed to build trust between states. Chalkidike is our good partner, so let's move our relations to a new level by signing new treaties. The map item info treaty allows for exchange information about our units and map items, while the peaceful passage treaty allows the non-military units to travel across our border. Open the diplomacy window with Chalkidike and tick the two highlighted boxes. Propose new treaties to Chalkidike. So let's open the political map. Let's left click Chalkidike here. Yes, so it's already... We're at peace with Chalkidike. So these have been ticked. City visibility, players can see all cities of the other player. Tile visibility, players can see all tiles owned by the other player, including units, cities, mines, and buildings stationed here. Unit visibility, players can see all mobile units of the other player on the map but without their properties. Map exchange, allies exchange their maps. Trade route access, players allow traders of the other player to go through their lands. Supply support, players agree to provide supplies for each other's units. So what do I need to do here? Zakynthos is there. It's not one here. Oh, they want us to click this. Right, map item info. Players can see properties of all map items of the other player visible to them, and peaceful passage. Players allow non-military units of the other players to travel through the lands. Alter the treaty. There you go. Excellent. Hopefully the envoys will return with a positive reply. In the meantime, we should keep rebuilding our beautiful country. The new city is finally finished. Cities and some other facilities can be further improved by various economic, military, cultural, social improvements. Considering that the new city is close to a border, and we don't have any reliable information about the regions further north, it would be wise to improve the city defences. Click on the Build and Improvement button, select the improvement you want to build. Build a defence improvement in the city. So if you read the top right, cities are building blocks of the state. When selected, white tiles show a so-called city range where food and wood are obtained. The city range grows with the size of the city. City can be specialised to build new units, train and repair them. Specialisation is shown under the city name and the unit menu. Cities can have multiple specialisations. Map highlights is explained in Imperiums Library F1. So building improvement. Available improvements are scouts and defence. So down here, build an improvement, Control V. Left click here. So we want defense. Map item receives a defense bonus. Costs in 3 turns. You can also improve units in a similar way. You can give them better training, armaments, or weapons to enhance their fighting abilities, mobility, and other attributes. Our unit in the city of Pella has no special training. We could enhance its mobility pathfinders to make regrouping faster, and it should be sent to join the fight against the Athenian colonies. Click on the Train Action button, select your preferred improvement from the list. Improve your unit. So, train, available improvements. So they want us to build a pathfinder. Units action points are increased. The unit is undergoing training now and should be ready for action by next turn. As you already know, settlers can build roads and cultivate land, but they can do more than that. They can utilize lands such as swamps by draining them and transforming them into fertile lands. Use the drain terrain action button to give the necessary command. You can drain only swamps. Let a settler work on draining the swamps on our coast. So that's a settler there. Move him to there, which is a swamp. And drain the terrain in 3 turns. Drain the swamp. Converting such difficult terrain takes several turns. We should also not forget our new city. It needs to be connected to our road network in case we need to quickly move our units there. Connect the city to existing road network. That's a settler. Move him there. Build a route. Before we end the turn, we should come back to the state window this time to decide on the direction of our research. Cities consume a lot of resources, so reducing their maintenance costs is our priority now. Research options are displayed in the invention tree, accessible through the research button in the state window. Available technologies are marked by this icon. Initiate new research. So let's left click here, open the state window. Research, open research tree window. Coinage. Select this technology. We'll select this technology. Now we can catch a breath and decide on our next actions while watching the moves of our opponents end a turn. Treaty changes with Chalkadike were agreed. So they agreed to the peaceful passage and the map item info or whatever there was. Peace offer was rejected by Athens. Before we busy ourselves with the latest news that require attention, let's take a look at the panel in the top left corner with the state menu. The button with coat of arms opens a state window with main administrative tools to manage our country, your country. Resource panel shows the current reserves as well as surplus or loss from the previous turn or turns. Click on any of the resources to open the resource usage window with detailed information about the selected resource. Below the resource panel, 3 important buttons. Build facility, list buildings that can be constructed outside of cities. We will come back to this function later. State decisions are actions designed to help in the time of crisis or when needed. Objectives map shows objectives with their goals displayed on a map. Research progress bar shows how far you are in acquiring particular technology. News from within as well as from outside our countries in a similar tone as the last messages. Chalcodike has signed the 2 new treaties we propose, which is great news indeed. On the other hand, Athens rejected any peace talks, although they withdrew their unit from Aegea after an unsuccessful attack. Let's try a different strategy then. Chalcodike seems to be open to our requests. If we could make them declare war on Athens, it might make negotiations with Athens easier. Chalcodike is a trading power with a very good reputation among the Greek states, unlike Macedonia, which is perceived as semi-barbaric by most Hellenes. You can ask another state to declare war against a third party in the diplomacy window. Similarly, you can also ask another states to sign peace with a third party, which can strengthen your world standing as an initiated peace. Request that Chalcodike declare war on Athens. So this is what's happened, the events of the previous turn. Unit settler close to Adelaide is ready. Unit settler in Therma is ready. Blah, blah, blah. Let's open the political map, F3. Let's go to Chalcodike, left click. Demand peace cancellation with another country. Left click there. Cancel. We're telling Chalcodike to cancel the peace they have with Athens. Let's see if we manage to shake the balance of power. We should move the restored cavalry unit from Edessa as well as the newly trained unit from Pella to the south. So they're saying to move him down here. That's a warrior there, we'll move him as well. We already touched briefly on state decisions. In general, these are important decisions that can have a profound effect on one or more areas of state government management. The upfront cost to employ such a strategy can be calculated, but their impact cannot be fully determined in advance. Some of these strategies are often conditioned to fit certain situations. Some of these strategies are often conditioned to fit certain situations, which means only become available when you can use them to your benefit when a situation might require it. Taking such decision might help to bridge or even avert moments of crisis. Yeah, I'll just read the rest of it. So let's hire a general, open the state decisions window, control and F6. So here it says hire a general. An outstanding military person can pour new energy into the armed forces when it is needed. If no such a person grows naturally out of the military ranks, Military ranks, a new hero must be found. Even one man can turn the tide. One victory is often what tips the scales in your favour. So let's hire a general. Execute hire general. Hire a general order brings a general into your service, but it costs large amounts of gold and influence. So let's click there. We manage state decision outcome. We managed to hire a new general. A lot of hope and expectation weighs on this man's shoulders. General Orestos, close to Pella, joined our ranks. Resources yield suffered from the latest changes. Yep. Excellent. Seems we found a man who has the respect of our troops. Let's test him right away. Send him to join our forces in the south and try to encourage our soldiers there. Generals can increase general morale of nearby troops through the encourage action button. Take care that no enemy gets too close to your general. Losing such a respected military figure can demoralize your units and threaten all your plans. Encourage troops by using a general. So that's your general there, Strategos General Orestos. Let's move him there. And let's click the encourage. It seems that our men listen to him, so let's not waste time. The unit inside Aegea can now safely leave the city. Follow the Athenian troops and reclaim the lands taken by them in previous turns from Macedonia. Claim back lands taken by Athens and launch an attack on Methona. Attack. Oh. A draw. So let's right click their attack there. That one was victory. Well done, another victory over Athens. This will teach them a lesson about Macedonia. The defenders of Methone would destroy the cities too far from Attica for Athens to be able to send in reinforcements fast enough. This could be our chance to push them from our southern border for good, but we need to wait until next turn to deliver the final blow. For now, we should turn our eye back upon the troubles in the north. There hasn't been any enemy movements reported recently, but our warrior unit fortified near the enemy capital needs to rest and replenish its strengths. Self-healing is a way of restoring the unit's strength without any costs, whenever and wherever it is needed. However, it takes quite a long time to heal the unit completely, and the unit is very vulnerable in the meantime. We had better move another group of warriors to their position for extra protection. Group the units on the same tile and let the fortified unit catch a breath and tend to their wounded. So let's move there. Self-heal in one turn. Defense penalty while healing is minus 50%. That's if anybody attacks in the meantime, which they won't. Apart from improving cities, you can also build various facilities outside of cities. Blacksmith, stable, defensive walls, and temple, all these buildings have their own function. So you should carefully select the location for them to maximize their effect. All available facilities are listed in the build facility list in the state menu. Let's build a temple on the hill above the capital city. Let's build a temple on the hill above the capital. Temples in general increase birth rate in all nearby cities as they bring blessing and the protection of the gods. Build a temple. So we click there. No. Open the build facility window. Temple accelerates population growth in cities that are within a 3-tile range from it. Takes 2 turns to build a temple. Let's left click that. They're telling us to build it there. So build a temple, number of cities connected is 3, Pella, Therma and Adelaide. So we're almost done this turn except for one little detail. As we explained, connecting mines with cities increases the resource production of those mines. Our stone reserves are quite low at the moment, and one of our settlers is waiting for new orders anyway, so let's send him to build a road to the stone quarry. Build a road to connect the stone quarry with the existing road network, and then end the turn. So that's a settler there. Build route. No, how do we do this one? To there. Okay. Yeah, so he'll connect Therma, Pella, and the stone quarry is here. And let's end the turn. Chakadok does not want to cancel peace with Athens. Okay. Before we get back to your responsibilities as king, let's take the time to go over a bit more about cities. When you select the city on the map, the area around the city called City Range is highlighted. These are tiles where food and wood and food are harvested. Note that tiles outside of the city range will not be harvested. The number of tiles in the city range is determined by city size, but only tiles under your ownership will be included in this range. The size of the city also affects production, consumption, and resources of the city. Larger cities consume more basic resources for maintenance, but they produce more of other resources, example, influence and knowledge. To be able to recruit new units in cities or certain other facilities, the city must be ready for this function. It needs to be specialized. Specialization is displayed under the city name in the unit menu. New cities automatically get a specialization for some basic unit types. You can add new specializations by clicking on the Change Specialization action button. I'll just read this to myself. Propose a joint. You can make the proposal through the diplomacy window. We set the territorial goals this campaign. This time for you, Bob. Propose a joint military campaign to Chalcodine. So we got city visibility, tile visibility, map exchange, open borders. Oh, we haven't got my open borders now. Suggest joint military campaign against another country. Athens. Propose joint military campaign. Yeah, Potidia, wherever that is. Hopefully we will entice Chalcodon with this offer, but again we shouldn't rely on their agreement. Some of our units are within striking distance from Methone, whose defenders were crushed during the last. We shouldn't let this chance slip away. Launch an attack on Methone. So let's move that warrior cavalry to here, as it's suggesting, and right click there. There you go, victory. 287 people were expelled/killed. They had a population of 3,815. We had 500 soldiers. Now let's, it's telling us to again attack. A draw. Yeah, so we didn't lose any soldiers here. 140 people, 144 people were expelled or killed. The enemy was strong, but the gods were on our side this time. A draw. We attacked with the other armies. Victory. We've conquered it. There you go. 600, yeah. Methonia's fallen. City conquests often lead to damages to the city infrastructure and subsequent need for repairs. When even the basic functions of the city have been damaged, it's necessary to enact emergency aid, otherwise you risk a complete destruction of the city or building as people will abandon such a place. Partial damages can be repaired later, however, until the infrastructure is in good order again. The production and function of the city or building will be negatively affected and people will keep moving away. Cities and buildings that need to be repaired are shown in the damage panel at the right of the screen. Give emergency aid to Methonia. Emergency aid, click that. While the city's infrastructure is being repaired, we can continue our campaign against Athens. With Methone taken, the other Athenian colony, Pydna, is now surrounded. We could use a general to try to sway the city governors to join us without further bloodshed. Use the provoke uprising action button to influence the city's populace. Try to incite unrest in Pydna and persuade it to open the gates to us. So let's right click there. Unrest to be stirred. Influence of Macedonia is growing and the morale in the city has dropped by 8%. Groups of powerful citizens led a campaign in the city and stirred waves of public unrest. The Athenians are too proud to bow to us. Our attempt had only a minor effect on the general morale of the city. They won't admit that we, mere barbarians, could defeat them, we will see. But first we need to cover one of our most crucial resources, namely food. Build another field next to your new city. Okay, so let's build a field. This turn is over now. It's time for opponents to make their moves. The opponent's panel is displayed at the top of the screen when your opponents are completing their turns. The panel allows you to filter those players and actions you really want to see. This button allows you to skip the current animation. This one skips the current player. This one allows you to skip all actions that once opposed to happen. Okay, we stalled long enough. It's time to end the turn. Chalcodok agreed to joint military campaign against Athens. They made it. What are we supposed to do here? That's not right. The last menu we haven't talked about yet is the map menu in the lower left corner. The menu includes a mini-map you can use to move around the map, as well as zoom in and zoom out buttons that function the same as a mouse wheel. There is also a settings panel on the right side of the menu that allows you to change the display of the map. Take some time and click through the buttons to find out what they do and how they can be of use to you. There are 3 more buttons at the top of the menu leading to the strategic overview, political map and trade overview windows. Now back to Macedonia. Chalcodok accepted the conditions of our joint military campaign. Surprisingly, they immediately declared war on Athens and conquered Bithynia. It means that they reached their campaign goals and it is now up to us to do the same to honour our agreement. First though, we need to take care of the situation in the north, where the Dardanian scout and cavalry cut off our supply lines and our units are stranded without food and armaments. Unrest to be stirred, left click there. Draw as well. 165 people expelled or killed. Defeated. Unbelievable, the Athenians are fighting like lions, still resisting. Our next wave of attacks must overcome their arrogance. This is the end of the tutorial. Macedonia is now fully in your hands. Don't forget that you committed yourself to take Pydna within 3 turns. We will explain some important game rules, mechanics and features in the following few turns, but there will be no more assignments. If you want some suggestions where to focus your efforts, check the list of objectives in the state window under the Cyclone. They won't offer you advice, but they outline some strategic goals that will bring you some rewards. The full responsibility for this land and its people now rests upon your shoulders. It's up to you how your name and the name of Macedonia will be noted in the historical annals. Good luck. What's this saying to do there? Fortify. Yeah. Anyway, what I'll do, that'll be it for today. I'll probably do an extended, I'll do another video, continue this tutorial maybe, so yeah, bye everyone.